Kitt.
Hi.
So good to have you. Welcome to Hey Mama.
Thank you so much for having me.
Is Kitt your official name?
No, it's not written on any of my documentation.
Yeah.
And that's my parents' fault.
Oh, okay.
But I've always been called Kitt from a baby.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
Yay.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Right.
As we get started.
I like to introduce myself as a fun-loving, woman-loving African feminist.
I love it.
And my entire goal, like the reason I believe I was put on planet Earth, is to set women free. And I do that in a number of ways. I set them free in their homes, doing decluttering and organization. I set them free on social media with my conversations that a lot of people love and also a lot of people hate. I don't think I land anywhere in the neutral kind of space. I also set them free in sleep, in motherhood. I'm a sleep coach and an author. I've just written and launched the first sleep training manual written by Kenyan.
I love it. And we're going to talk about that manual in just a minute.
Yes.
Are you a mother yourself?
I am a mom. I have two little, a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. And I trained them when they were born. Sleep trained them.
So do you feel like you almost stumbled into sleep training, or was this intentional?
It was intentional. I've always known about sleep training. My maternal grandmother came back with the technology when she studied in the UK to be a midwife. So she taught my mother. My mother sleep trained us. Sleep training is not new. A lot of Kenyans think it's new or something revolutionary. It's always been there. We as Kenyans, or even Africans as a whole, have been sleep training for a long time. We just didn't have that language to say this is sleep training.
Right.
But then, so it was not accidental. I've never been a work hard kind of person or a work hard mom. I don't believe in suffering. I know for sure I'm not going to get a medal at the end. I really suffered for my kids, so I'm the best mom. I am a work smart mom. So I always knew I was going to sleep train my children before they were born. And when they came, I sleep trained them.
And what's the importance of sleep training a child?
As a believer, I'm a believer in Christ, and I believe that we should train children in anything, in everything, so that when they are grown, they don't depart from it. And so when you sleep train a child, you create a lot of safety for the child. There's not a lot of anxiety of when is dinner, when is bath time, when is bedtime, I don't know when I'm going to get my next meal. All of these things, it creates a structure that lives on in life. As adults, we all have structures. You know, you told me to come onto the shoot at a particular time.
Yes.
It was not dependent on when I woke up. It was not dependent on your last meal. It was 11.
Yes.
Come at this time. That's life. But somehow for children, we don't believe that's life. Everything is dependent on their last nap, their last meal, that creates a lot of anxiety when they go to playgroup, when they go to kindergarten. They have no follow through. There's no time for a thing. I want to play. Okay, it's time to read. I want to sleep. Okay, it's time to eat. They don't have that structure. So sleep training really creates a rhythm and a structure, and all humans benefit from a rhythm and a structure.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get how it benefits the child. How does it benefit the mom to sleep train a child, or the parent to sleep train the child?
Sleep deprivation is used in torture camps. Prisoners are tortured by keeping them up. And we're doing it to ourselves, like just free of charge.
Yeah.
When you don't sleep, you die. And when people are kept up, it doesn't matter by what. Work, children, torture, they lose a little bit of their brain activity. They lose a lot of their immunity. You get unwell and sick when you're not sleeping. So it benefits you in that you continue to be a person. You as Kambua, you've had this child. You are now no longer like a robot machine filled with anxiety and anger and stress because you're not sleeping. You are still Kambua, and now you're taking care of a child.
Yeah, I love that. So everyone wins.
Everybody wins when you sleep train. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Pull up that book that's
I
right
am
there.
pulling it.
Because you are an author. you put together. Tell us about that sleep manual that you're holding.
Thank you so much. I have been sleep training professionally for about 7 years. But I sleep trained my 10-year-old. So I've been sleep training for 10 years. In all that time, the main thing that came out from the parents I trained was things that don't relate to us as Africans. Many of the concepts in sleep training and a lot of the things that we consume about babies is Western. And not even like all the Western countries, just 2 countries, yes. America and the UK. And we consume that like it is the Bible. It is irrefutable. We believe everything they say. We follow them blindly. It's absurd. Yeah. The people with the most babies are in the East. Like just factually. Why don't we consume content about babies from India? They have the most babies in the world. Why don't we consume content about babies from China? They know something that we don't know. But the PR vehicle,
yes,
PR vehicle of these 2 Western countries is so big that we follow every single thing that they say. For me, that's a disservice. Mm-hmm. We need to say these things in a language that makes sense to us. I have been working on Kenyanizing sleep training ever since I began. And this year, I started in January writing this. Mm-hmm. This year, I took the leap and I said, okay, I'm going to write this thing. Everything that I have been teaching, I'm going to put it into a book so people can have it. And we can give it to everybody. Things that we cannot translate into our own language, wake windows and sleep regression, and even the absurdity of measuring breast milk. We never think about it. We don't consider that this much people in the world have access to bottles.
Right.
Nobody measures breast milk.
We have been taught to.
We do not measure it. We know that our babies are full when they stop eating. Yeah. And that is something that we're losing. I don't want us to lose it. So I have written it.
I love
for
it.
posterity.
Where can we get the book?
I have a website, okay. And I will share with you the website. And you can also DM me on Instagram, and I will also give you my manager's number.
Okay.
And you can buy this book.
Yes. Every family needs this book. If you have a baby that you're raising, you need to get that manual.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What are some practical tips for staying organized with housework? Because you've told us you help declutter.
Yes.
You help, families basically organize their schedules.
Yes.
What are some of the practical tips that you would give to a family that wants to bring some order into their lives?
Yes. First and foremost, and this might sound obvious, have a place for everything. Does everything in your home have a home?
That's a good question.
Like this nail cutter, where is its home? It doesn't matter if it's a very aesthetically organized cupboard, or it's a little bag or a paper bag hanging on a chair. Does it have a home? Because if things don't have a home, then they are everywhere. And every single time you need to find something, you're looking for it. Yeah. How absurd. So every little thing, every single thing has a home. Another tip is when you buy something, throw away the packaging. Yes, I know you believe the TV is going to go back in. When you're moving, you need the box, the big TV box. So it's behind or under something. And I know you believe the iron needs the box. And I know you believe the phone. Kwanza phones need the box.
And shoes.
I promise you. One, you will never sell it. You think, when I want to resell, what have you ever sold? You will never sell it. Two, even if you do sell it, the person you're selling it to won't care about the box. Because how many collectors do we have in Kenya? Point. The shoes, there'll be collectibles, the perfume, collectibles, they need the box. they don't need the box. Throw away the box. It doesn't matter how nice the box is, throw it. When you go to the supermarket to shop, if you have a car, use your boot as a shopping bag. Don't buy any shopping bags. Literally, go out with the trolley full of your shopping and use your boot as the shopping bag. The things will be floating around in the back, but it's fine. They'll be safe till they get home. Don't buy shopping bags because now we have a shopping bag graveyard under our sink. Do you know how many shopping bags I have? One. Because I got it yesterday. Somebody gave me a shopping bag. They gave me something in a shopping bag. I have one. I have 4 Makuti baskets that I carry every time I go shopping. I carry my baskets and I come back with home. Some of them are looking like this, but I carry my baskets. And when I will be done with the basket, I will donate it or I'll use it for something else and I will buy another basket. So reuse, recycle, all of that stuff.
Oh my gosh, I feel like you have stepped on my toes.
Triggering. I was saying triggering things.
I will send you evidence of the perfume boxes that I will throw away today.
Please. And you know what? Let me add one more thing. You know all these free things that we get?
The PR packages.
Packages. We get PR packages, but we also get giveaways, like free things in supermarkets.
Yes.
Like if you go to wherever it may be, they give you free things. A cup.
Yes.
A plate.
Yeah.
And it's always one. Mm-hmm. It's never like a pair or
a set. No.
Set. Yes, I understand saying no thank you is not putting good energy into the world. I get it. I acknowledge that. But if you can get away with saying no thank you, do.
Okay.
But take the gift and immediately pass it on. Take it with somebody in mind. You don't have to keep it just because you received it. You can keep the giving going.
I like that.
So receive, give.
So what you're saying is I don't have to have a Milo mug, Blue Band mug.
Imagine a pen, a notebook. Quanto the notebooks.
Notebooks, calendars,
my
umbrellas.
Is collecting notebooks in my home. But let me not talk about that.
Oh my gosh, I think that a lot of people can relate to this point especially. And when you talked about the trash bags under the sinks and in the pantries and
shouting.
Not trash bags, but shopping bags.
Yeah.
Shouting.
Shouting.
Okay. How can mothers carve out time for self-care with all the demands of parenting, managing a home, some having a official work and kind of thing? How do you manage all of that? Whether you're a full-time stay-at-home mom or you're going out to work, but there's just so many things pulling and tagging at you.
That's right.
How do you take care of yourself in the middle of all of that?
That's right. Firstly, even the use of the word carve out time, for me, I don't really subscribe to. I feel like self-care should be number one. So as moms and as women in general, we are taught and socialized to put ourselves last. And I'm constantly shouting at women, put yourself first. After you have finished with yourself, whatever time is left, give it to others. You live in your body, Kambua. You live inside, like I'm in here.
Yeah.
I'm in here. And if I'm not well, again, there's no medal. And I don't know what language. Yeah. This thing just makes me feel so sad. There is no language for me to be able to tell women, you're not coming back around. This is not trisex. Right. Let me try, give everything to everybody else. And then at the end of my life, when I have a time, I can now come back and do it all again for me.
Yeah.
You can't do it. We as human beings are inherently selfish. But for women, we've been taught that selfish is a bad word. A 4-letter word, a curse word, never to be spoken. Give everything to everybody, and the little that is left, carve out time for yourself. No. Start with you. the way I do it is I start every single morning with a walk. Yes, I am walking the dog.
But it's also for you.
I need it. And if I have a very early morning, I walk early. I'm walking at 5 a.m. I'm walking at 4 a.m. Because if I don't get my exercise in, my brain is not going to be well. My body is not going to be well. My mental health, everything is not going to be well. And then what do I have to give you? A few weeks ago, I was sick. And so I didn't get up for my morning walk. And the more I didn't get up for my morning walk, I think I didn't walk for 4 or 5 days. The more I didn't get up, the worse I felt. But I couldn't get up because I was sick. Exercise helps me to be well. That's my self-care. It doesn't cost anything for me to walk. That's another thing that we need to really be aware of. The idea that self-care needs to be expensive, or you need to buy something, or you need to go out and do something, no. If it is something that you can do on your own that takes care of yourself, the clue is in the name. Do it. It doesn't have to cost anything. Yeah.
And especially that a walk is something you can do consistently.
Consistently, yeah.
And
anywhere.
And anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Many moms feel, and I think you've actually said this a lot of times throughout the conversations, that we feel the pressure to do it all. And because we imagine there's just that unspoken reward that you will get for doing it all.
Yeah.
But how can women learn to just let go of that perfectionism and embrace what's realistic and what they can do?
And you know what? It's not even a chase for perfectionism. It's a chase for love.
Acceptance.
You want to be Junior Holy Spirit? Assistant Jesus Christ? Nobody died and hired you for that. Rest, Agnes.
Yeah.
Rest, relax.
Argue, Miss
Judy. We don't need you. If you died today, I'm always telling the moms in my class, it is terrifying to think about this. But if you died today, your little baby would not notice or remember. That's how much you matter. That's a good thing. I promise that's a good thing.
Wow.
So give yourself a break.
Yeah.
And even if a president died today, Kambua, how much time would we give them in silence?
By like another week, we would be moving on.
But let's give the president a minute of silence.
A moment of silence.
Yeah, it's not even a minute. It's a moment.
Yeah, it's a moment.
3 seconds at best.
And we move on. Yeah.
At best.
Yeah.
They would not even be like a glitch. It would be like, literally, the king is dead, long live the king.
That's very sobering.
Yeah.
How can home management skills empower women beyond the household and in their personal and professional lives?
I saw a video of somebody saying she's no longer going to introduce herself as a mom. She will introduce herself. She said, executive manager of something, chauffeur. We are all these things.
Yeah.
It's just nobody is paying us for it. And if more and more women, this is something that people feel ache about, if more and more women requested or required payment for the work that they do at home, there would be a lot more value. Because right now what society values is money-making activities. But because your work saves money, not makes, saves money, then there's no inherent value in it. But there is value, obviously. And all the things that we do at home, if you remove the person, who else is going to do it? As a few weeks again, my husband and I decided to trade roles. So I would be doing all the things that he generally does, and he would be doing all the things that I generally do. He came back exhausted.
Of course.
Do you know what that taught me? I'm doing too much. And I sat around waiting. I sat around waiting a lot. I went to the garage and I waited. I think it was 2 or 3 hours waiting. I was doing my other work, but I was just waiting. And he said, my work is so constant. Going for a birthday party. What is the dress code? Is there a gift? School trip. Shoes are destroyed. Uniform. Dinner. It's just constant. It's constant work. And he developed structures as he was doing my job to delegate. He delegated a lot of my work. So when I came back to that job, do you know what I did? I left the structures as they were with the delegations. Whoever was doing them when my husband was in charge, continue. So it opened up a lot of stuff for me and a lot of time for me. So there's a lot of learning that I got for him doing my work. And there's a lot of learning he got from him doing us dividing the work like that.
I really love that you said you realized you were doing too much and now you've delegated.
Yes.
And that's so important
Yes.
to know that I don't have to be the one actually doing it.
Yes.
If I can afford the help,
Yeah.
if I can ask for it,
Yeah.
but you don't need to be doing too much.
It's so funny. The help was already there. I was just not utilizing her in that way. And I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. It's my socialization. There's certain things that she can do and certain things that I'm doing. But she can do it all.
Yeah.
Figured that out.
I love that. How can mothers involve, we really are like flowing one question into the other, because how can moms involve their partners or family members or friends and other external help to foster teamwork and reduce the stress on themselves? I feel like you've partly answered that question, but how can mothers intentionally do that?
It's in a lot of the language that we use. When I ask my husband to do something in the home, I don't ask for help. I never use the word help. It's not my job that he is helping with. It is our job. It's our home. So when I need him to do something, could you change the baby's diaper or could you load the dishwasher? I ask, can we work together on this? Can we work together on doing ABCD? I used to get very irritated. I've been married 13 years. I used to get very irritating having to ask. It pisses you off. You want the person to see the dirty laundry on the floor and pick it up. People are not the same. And I'm still learning that. This person and me, we're not the same. We're not the same. We're not the same. And me telling them to do A, B, C, D is not a negative thing. So I'm going to say, work together, work with me on this, do A, B, C, D. And then, this is the best part, not worry about how he does it. Not worry or care about how he does it. Mm-hmm. Is the task done? End of story.
Yeah.
Because am I perfect? I'm not going to put myself in a position of I am perfect. When our babies were born and he would be the one doing bath time, I've never washed a newborn baby in my life. It's always my husband. My babies would scream the entire time because he was taking too long. Like if he was changing the diaper, he was taking long. Why was he taking long? He doesn't have enough practice. I change diapers all day, so I have practice. He comes home, changes 2 diapers, so he needs more time. I don't step in. Don't step in. Why? He needs practice. He needs to practice. And then he will also get confident. And then your baby will also know when it's Baba, be patient. So now they no longer used to scream. They just used to sit there and be like, it's this guy again. We're going to be here a while. Because he also has to stop to kiss the baby. And buju. Yeah. So don't step in when your partner is doing something. Ask constantly for help. And then allow people to help you. And just sit back and do something else.
I love that. And I love that you've also touched just on the terminology and the language and I'm not asking for help because we're both parents.
Yes.
Because sometimes people say, I'm taking care of the kids. Or,
yes.
But today my husband is babysitting. I'm like,
right.
Is your husband a babysitter?
Right. And are you paying him?
Exactly.
Are you paying him? Yeah. If he is babysitting, are you paying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's doing his role as a parent.
He's fathering.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, as we finish.
Yeah.
If there's one message that you would want every mother to hear about her well-being, what would it be?
Wow. About her well-being. You have brought life into the world as a mom, right? And if you have birthed the child yourself, you have a wound the size of Texas inside your body. Literally, if the wounds that we carried as moms were on the outside, people would treat us so differently. You know, I hear it's the size of a dinner plate. So that's the size of the wound inside your body. Think about that every time you think you need to snap back. Think about that wound. And it takes, I hear it's 18 months to 2 years. And some people have babies in that time. So the wound is there. It's not healed. And then it's open again. Think about that every time you hear, yeah, but you need to get back to work. Yeah, but you hear it in your head because people are not really saying it, but it's society, like it's like a rumbling, it's like a mumble that never goes away. Think about that wound, that huge wound, every time you are mean to yourself. Think about that every time you think, no, I can't, I don't need to rest, I don't need ABCD, think about that wound and be kind. Be kind to yourself. Even when people are not being kind to you, be kind to you. Because you live, I will say this again, you live inside yourself. And you're the only one there. In the dead of night, you hear your thoughts. When you're lotioning yourself, how are you talking to yourself? Brushing your hair, how are you talking? Putting on your clothes, what are you saying? Because your voice is the one you hear the most. So be kind.
Be kind. I say amen to that.
Amen.
Kitt Kiarie, it's been such a pleasure having you on Hey Mama. You are fabulous, fantastic mama.
Thanks.
And everybody should just follow you and get to organize their lives and to be reminded to love themselves and care for themselves. So, and I'm one of those people. You have schooled me on so many things today. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really, really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.